on.
Deception is a right. Truth is a privilege. Innocence is a luxury. Born of the United States government's 1928 raid on the degenerate coastal town of Innsmouth, Massachusetts, the covert agency known as Delta Green opposes the forces of darkness with honor but without glory. Delta Green agents slip through the system, manipulating the federal bureaucracy while pushing the darkness back for another day, but often at a shattering personal cost. Welcome to the haunting of Walter Corbitt, the last chapter in Watcher, a Delta Green campaign of modern horror, conspiracy, and personal apocalypse. I am Eric, at Maron Recluse Online, your handler for this Candlelit Chronicle. Due to the mature themes of horror and violence explored in our tale, we do encourage listener discretion. We are Vorpal Tales, and we play a wide assortment of games 7 days a week, sometimes twice a day. To know more about our many games and stay up to date on all of our shows, be sure to check out the calendar on vorpaltales.com. Follow us on Twitch, visit the website, and find the link to join our Discord. We're on most social media outlets, including YouTube, where you can catch up on previous episodes. So remember to follow, subscribe, and hit the bell to get all the updates. Very special thanks to Cryo Chamber for the use of their excellent ambient music tracks. For more, check out their extensive discography on cryochamber.bandcamp.com. Other music attributions and shoutouts include Dark Somnium Music, Epidemic Sound, Least Upperbound, and Repulsive Sound. We want to thank Arc Dream Publishing for making awesome games like Delta Green for us to play and for providing support to their players. Check out their suite of tabletop RPGs and supplements on arcdream.com, where you can get a physical or a digital copy of awesome games like Delta Green. Thanks also goes out to Roll20 Tabletop for providing an excellent virtual platform for us to run many of our games. And last but not least, warm thanks to our listeners and fans for tuning in. Our agents and friendlies are ready for another night at the opera. Players, tell our audience who you are, where they can find you online, and who you will be playing this evening. Beginning with Aaron.
Hello, everyone. I am Aaron. You can find me pretty much everywhere as Grey Cthulhu. My pronouns are anything but he, him. Tonight, I'll be reprising my role as the femme fatale murderess Dominique Staker, whose pronouns are she, her.
Ambrose.
Hey everybody, I'm Ambrose. My pronouns are he or they. You can find me all over the internet as Am Changeling, because Am Legion. Anyway, you can find me all over Etsy, all up in Etsy. God damn it. At Thornkind. Adding new stickers, ace stickers, and some poly stickers. So be on the lookout for those. Tonight, I will be playing Diver, aka Lazarus, aka Ilya, whose pronouns are he, him, or, they, them, or she, her, or all the other pronouns, depending on who's at the surface.
Excellent. And last but not least, of course, Rachel.
Hello, my name is Rachel. You can find me Stolen Fires pretty much everywhere. I am playing Delilah. We are both she, her. Delilah is a profiler for the FBI, or thinks she is, or used to be, or, it's all up in the air. So let's see what happens next.
We are down 1K currently, but fingers crossed it will be joining us here in a little bit. So without further ado, however, we do have a recap. If you would do the honors, Ambrose.
There's a little ado as I pull it up. So just slight further ado. I'm normally on point, okay? Okay.
You're fine.
After hearing Harriet's phone call, it's time to haul ass to the high school, which is unfortunately covered in cops. Oh god, I just pictured them spider climbing all over the building. Ugh. Delilah quickly evaluates the situation and finds a potentially unlocked door. Meanwhile, Donovan hacks into the police frequency to draw some of the cops away. "Officer down," he says, watching cops peel away before he's even done with the message. Oh, the imagery in my head is so good right now. Donovan leads the way into the darkened school, and we hear distant shouting, 2 by 2. We head to a set of doors locked by a simple bike lock. Dominique makes quick work of the lock, and Donovan holsters his gun and steps into the room. Two of the girls are bloodied and bound, while Shelley is up. Harriet has her gun aimed at Shelley. Donovan walks in, hands up. Shelley is crying and tells him to stop. And something strange happens. Miss Chandra, screaming for help, has her eyes go black. Diver recognizes this. She taunts Shelley to kill both of them. Meanwhile, Dominique is lining up a shot on Shelley. Delilah gets the feeling that Harriet is going to shoot Shelley, while Shelley is set on killing them. And Terry and Mishandra seem to be infected with the same thing that killed Dahlia. Harriet is the first person to shoot, opening fire on Shelley. Shelley shoots Mishandra and Terry screams. A black cloud begins emerging from Mishandra and she starts dying. Diver dashes forward, grabs Terry, and keeps moving out of the combat area. The black cloud begins spreading, trying to envelop everyone. Except, for some reason, Agent Delilah. She remembers what John Cross said about going for a refreshing swim or back to school. She grabs Mishandra and tries to get her into the water. The black cloud seems to just wash away from her. Dominique, seeing this, dives in as well. Harriet goes for Shelley, shooting her dead. Terry also takes a bullet and the black cloud converges on Diver, who begins suffocating. Donovan grabs Terry and tries to get both of them into the water as well. Harriet begins freaking out when the black spores envelop her, saying something about an embrace. Delilah responds by grabbing her and throwing her into the pool as well. Diver turns to her. "You look so clean, dear Delilah. What have you been up to? Don't you love me?" Somehow, the voice seems strangely familiar to her. She threatens to Sharpie the Elder sign on his arm. Diver grabs for Delilah and pulls her close to him. Her leg burns and the burn spreads to him as well. He threatens to use one of his claws to cut into her and see what happens. Donovan tries to save Harriet while Delilah throws herself backwards into the water, taking Diver with her. In the pool, Dominique and Donovan struggle against each other. Dominique goes for Donovan's sidearm and points it directly at his head. Diver comes up for air, asking Delilah what she was doing. Terry tries to free himself while Harriet flails. "Try and shoot me," Donovan challenges Dominique as he heads to save Terry. Seeing this, Delilah heads to try and help Harriet. Dominique gives up on the thought of killing Donovan and instead uses her knife to cut holes in the cover to help the struggling people. The agents just manage to fish Terry and Harriet out and render them first aid. But Terry is insensate, whispering that her embrace means death. Delilah is shell-shocked. The cops will be here any minute, and the team argues about what to do. Delilah is in favor of telling a version of the truth, but Dominique is so over this. After a brief argument, Delilah hands over the keys. But as soon as she and Diver leave, both Donovan and Delilah call the cops and report that one of the most wanted is loose in the city. But Dominique is enough on the ball to notice when the police start circling the car. She drives it into an alley and decides to steal a new car. Diver is confused and is asking for an explanation. But halfway through asking, Lazarus takes control. Dominique asks him to help her get away, and he begins driving east towards Boston. The cops bust in and take everyone into custody. Delilah and Donovan do some fast talking. Delilah plays the classified card, while Donovan leans on his family ties. Both methods work. But Harriet isn't as lucky. She gets booked for murdering Shelley. As she drives away, she gives a look of gratitude. But right before we can leave the station, they get a phone call from a local field office. They're asked to stay. Several hours later, two suits get out. Okay. They call us by our agent names. They aren't a wet work team, but a debrief one. They take us straight to meet with our true handler. Meanwhile, Diver, or Lazarus, and Dominique hit the highway. At some point, they pull into a hotel to get some rest. She calls Donovan first. You made the wrong choice. We could have done some real good. She swears to continue fighting monsters just to spite him. Donovan calls his fiancée just to check in. While this is going on, Dominique notices Lazarus slipping out of his hotel room to make a phone call. He's checking in with someone he calls boss. He gives a brief description of Diver and says he wants to destroy the agency too. Dominique is waiting when Lazarus comes back to his room. Lazarus reveals he's working for someone named Shaw, who employs several other ghouls. He offers Dominique a chance to join their cult of Yib. Dominique remains suspicious and demands to speak with Shaw on the phone. Dominique murders the desk attendant to cover her tracks while Lazarus gets Shaw on the line. He's a very cranky Brit who refuses to discuss anything over an open line, but invites Dominique to come see him. She agrees, but swings by a liquor store. As she is inside, she sees Lazarus driving away, abandoning her at the liquor store. Meanwhile, Delilah and Donovan arrive at Atlanta. They're both seriously underslept, especially Donovan, who repeatedly wakes up screaming. But we eventually land and are taken to a sprawling southern estate. A woman is there with hunting dogs and a shotgun. She invites Delilah and Donovan to walk with her as she goes hunting. She explains that Shaw is an enemy, and that Diver gives us a chance to utilize him as a double agent. And she is to be our only handler. Her name is Gertrude, and Delilah gives her an extra long handshake, reminded of how her elder sign hurt Diver when he had her in a grapple. All of them have a discussion about Dominique. Gertrude seems amenable to continuing to work with Dominique despite Delilah and Donovan's reservations. Donovan is willing to call Dominique back. They come to a tense accord, and Dominique agrees to be picked up. 4 days later, Diver wakes up among the ghouls. They lead him to Mr. Shaw. He explains about Lazarus and says he knows that Diver wants to destroy Delta Green. He has no secrets from anyone, not as a ghoul. But, fortunately, Shaw's agenda coincides with Diver's. Does Diver want to join up? The alternative is a very real type of death.
All right, thank you for reading that, Ambrose, and thank you, as always, to Rachel for taking excellent notes, as always. We have a Kay with us. Kay, go ahead and tell everybody who you are, where they can find you online, and who you'll be playing this evening.
Oh, hey, it is I, Critical K of the She and They variety. I'm K, Critical K with 2 Ks is where you can find me on the Bird app. Sorry, the ISP has been having all kinds of things this week in Boston. Tonight, I will be playing Agent Donovan, or actually, mostly, I'll be playing Conrad Kessler. Just a regular agent A federal dude's got a fiance, got a best friend, a boss, a regular guy who knows nothing about the supernatural, just like you and me.
Excellent.
See, he's even in a sweater.
So now we can continue with our Candlelit Chronicle, The Haunting of Walter Corbitt. First, though, I want to make sure we're going to engage in a part of Delta Green that are referred to as home scenes. These are basically things that happen in between the panels, so to speak, or in between operations in this case. Everybody's going to have a turn here, and part of the mechanical benefit of doing home scenes is so that your character can kind of take a breather from dealing on a day-to-day basis with the unnatural and revitalizing their sanity, their willpower points, they're strengthening their bonds with these side characters and so on, but also to pursue other engage in other pursuits like the unnatural if you want to delve deeper than you have before. So we're gonna start with Diver, and then we're gonna work our way down, because there's certain things that have to happen first, I think, in order for other things to happen, if you get my meaning. So we'll start with you, Diver. 1 second here. You've made your accord with Holland Shaw in private behind closed doors. And in return, he promises you a wealth of information, everything a Delta Green has that you feel would be better in other hands, perhaps. He doesn't care what happens to them. He has designs of his own. But in order for him to facilitate this request for you, he needs something from you as well. As you're standing before him in his foyer, he takes a drag from his pipe and he spews out a little bit of smoke. He looks at you. Now that you're with us, there's one thing that needs to be done. I can grant you what you wish, but I need you to deliver something for me to your handler. He gets up, walks over to his desk. He unfurls a old piece of parchment. He weighs it down on both ends, and he takes out what seems to be like a jar filled with ink. Takes an old style brush out, and he starts painting something in the center of the parchment. You look at it curiously over his shoulder, and you recognize the symbol. It's the symbol of the Watcher, of Yib. All the while, he mutters under his breath, and he makes a few quick gestures with his hands. And for a moment, you can swear that there's almost like an after image or light that traces after his finger after he's made the gestures. But quickly, just as you saw it, they disappear. He writes something with the brush, very quick strokes, very light, and then he finishes. He puts the brush away and rolls up the parchment. He then takes another jar out that seems to be distilled with, let's call it red wax, although it's not that. He starts pouring a little bit along the seam of it. He says something, and it quickly dries and almost seemingly becomes absorbed into the parchment. It's just an envelope, but he hands it to you very carefully. Your handlers will want to bring you in and interrogate you. When they do, give them this letter. When they ask for whom it is from whom it is from, you will tell them that I sent it. The moment they open it, I will know. Soon after, a phone nearby will ring. Tell them that I am calling for them. They open it. Excuse yourself from the room when they answer, and hand control back to Lazarus. Afterwards, you will return to us and report what you experienced. I will not answer any questions you may have about the letter or its purpose right now. Everything will become clear after your mission. Do not, under any circumstances, open the letter or read its contents. I'll be watching. And with that, he kind of gestures for you, sort of like dismisses you from his presence. From here, he makes it clear that you have access to the mansion grounds here in Arkham, and the tunnels beneath the mansion that lead to other places that you're not terribly familiar with. Although you seem to see a lot of these other ghouls making their way down below the ground to these secretive tunnels that he has beneath the mansion house. What do you do in your time now that you have no bonds to speak of? Speaking of which, you've only just begun to realize the gravity of your situation after Lazarus flooded you with memories that you thought were made up, like you didn't think that they existed, memories that your brain had locked away, of your greatest failure, of losing both Blue Betty, Gemma, and McTavish in that terrible crash. I need you to roll helplessness, please.
That's just
sanity. Yeah, you roll your sanity, and if you fail, you'll see what happens.
71 out of 55.
Oh, okay. So you lose 3 sanity, 1 for each of your bonds that perished. You're just starting to kind of like cope and understand what's happening, and you're sort of like having to absorb everything that's happening to you as you move through the mansion house and just sort of getting your bearings. And then just like that, you're in his head again. It's always so desolate when he's in charge and you're in the back seat. It doesn't feel right when you're used to being in control of your own vehicle, when you're the pilot on this flight and not the co-pilot. Mists roll in this time, but instead of obscuring your vision, these mists reveal cobblestone streets, a church, a large apartment building where you now reside, a tenant in the housing provided by your landlord, Lazarus. You wander these streets and those hallways. An anachronism. Like everyone else at this tenement, you are part of a collection of voices that were acquired by the ghoul. Just when you think you've resigned to your fate, however, you see something unexpected. You see Lazarus. Except he doesn't appear particularly jolly when he sees you. He doesn't even appear to recognize you. How do you interact with Lazarus and the other tenants in the building?
I'm going to talk to them, kind of get to know them. I suspect that this is the original Lazarus, possibly.
Would be correct. As soon as you start talking to him, you see he's not at all like what you are accustomed to. He's very awkward. He's very shy and very easily scared. He likes to bite his fingernails a lot, like he's very anxious all the time. He's like, I feel like I know you from somewhere. Are you new here?
Oh, yes, I am rather the most recent, I believe. Lazarus, right?
Agent Lazarus. Yes. That's not my real name. That was my agent name for from the agency.
I am Agent Diver. Delta Green agent, or thought I was.
Oh no, they got you too. There's a lot of us in here, you know that? I think he ate the whole team. They're in here somewhere. He points down the hallway. Hey, I hear he lets you drive. Is that true?
I don't know about let, but then again, I don't not know.
Well, you came in from outside. You don't. You get to go out. We're stuck in here. The rest of us in the building. Hey, if you could get out there, could you do something for us?
Try.
Okay. I have a little perrita. Her name is Rita. Could you check to make sure that it's being fed and cared for? I don't know how long I've been dead. Do you know how long I've been dead?
No, I haven't got a clue. He uses your face the most. Do you have any idea why?
I don't know. We're all together here, right? You and I, like you know what I want, I know, and I know what you know, or like, is that how that works? You
Kind
can
of.
share, right? And I can share with you.
I think so. We could try.
Yeah. Hey, don't mention this to the other guy, but I think there might be a way that we can take control. Okay, but it's gonna be. It might be a little risky, okay? And just when he starts talking, you hear like doors slamming shut in the door in the hallway, like. And he's like, oh shit, I gotta go. Okay, I'll talk to you later, okay, bye. He runs, as soon as the door starts slamming, he runs into his little apartment, and the door slams shut. And you hear like people, like you hear the door knobs like jingling, like people are trying, like pounding on it, like trying to escape, but they can't. You, on the other hand, are in no such prison in here. You're free to roam the halls as you wish. What do you do?
I wonder. I look
You come
to
across
see
others. Yeah. You kind of peer in the windows, or you kind of happen upon them on the street when you leave. You see these other phantoms, these people from all ages, from all different times, that were consumed, and now they sort of reside here in this strange purgatory. People riding, like horse-drawn carriages and like old motorcycles and shit. Like, what the hell's going on here? This is a new realm for you, a new place. You feel, though, that you have some ability to enter and leave this place as you will. As soon as you've sort of like glimpsed and seen people, you feel that your body is being used outside of your agency, and you start to like reach back over to see where you are or what's been happening. And that's when you realize you're in the back of a car now. Time has passed in the moments that you spent in this tenement building inside of this miniature world. You're in the back of a car, and when you look out the windows, you see rolling, open fields, savannas from as far as the eye can see, and a plantation house approaching in the distance. This is where Gertrude is located. You feel the letter inside your coat pocket, and it feels like a hot rock, like it's burning and it's ready to burst the closer you get to this house. Do you at any one point open the letter and read its contents?
Ambrose wants to, but I feel like my character would know better.
This is wise. Okay, so you kind of keep it there, and you don't mess with it. You just kind of look at it occasionally.
And look at it, smell it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're driving you to this estate. This has to be authentic, you realize. Should you refuse or fail, you don't know what the consequences would be. You spot a helo on a landing pad on the front lawn. Security here is pretty tight, but they let you through. Inside are these lavish interiors. They bring you to an upstairs office where there are two large wooden doors that open to the sounds of Vivaldi from beyond. She rises from behind this protective, bulletproof window atop the desk, and she welcomes you with a knowing glance and this easy smile. Have a seat. Your briefing is about to begin. Welcome, Agent Diver. First time meeting in the flesh, so to speak. I understand you're in quite a unique situation. Our contemporaries would normally see something like yourself and want to purge it with fire. But we here in the program understand that there are opportunities to be had here by making use of your new talents. First, I just want to be sure that we can fully grasp the complexity of your situation and utilize it in the best way possible. As we understand it currently, you were consumed by a ghoul, were you not?
Well, I was.
One of Shaw's ghouls, specifically, part of an elaborate ruse to assume our agents out in the field. Someone gave that information to Shaw, and we want to find out who did it and why. If you feel you are in control of your faculties, such as you are, then perhaps you can teach us something about these ghouls, what they're able to do, and how we may be able to use your unique positioning within Shaw's group to gather vital intelligence. First, however, we need to ensure that this is in fact Agent Diver that we are speaking with. I have read your file forwards and backwards and have committed much of it to memory. Tell me about who you are, where you grew up, and what was the initial moment when you first encountered something your mind couldn't explain. Speak truthfully and openly.
Right. One that's bothering me the most at the moment is wanting to know my first interactions with something supernatural. It's a plain accident. Saw something I shouldn't have.
What
Creeping.
did you see, Agent Diver? Illuminate me.
Not really sure what it was. My first instinct is to consider it possibly some form of Yeti or Bigfoot of some sort. I never really found out from my rescuers what it was.
I see. Fascinating. Well, we can certainly assist you in this endeavor.
Actually, I would like that very much. That's been bothering me for a long time.
Certainly, we would most. We want to help you as much as we want you to help us. After all, and you see at this point, she has other people here with her. There's like 4 bookends lining the room on each corner. 4 people armed, you can tell. And she starts going over some stuff, and you realize this is probably as good a time as any to hand over the letter, or do you wait?
Gonna wait just a little bit longer. He's going to tell her, growing up in England and a bit of the US, how he got into flying in the first place, and then where is Dominique anyway?
Oh, all in due time. We're having to put through some initial feelers out to basically suss out her location. We have a set of coordinates, but we haven't moved on them yet. We're taking our time, you understand.
And Donovan and Delilah?
First, at maintaining contact, you've been through quite a bit of events recently in New Jersey and Arkham, respectively. I want to make sure that my agents are refreshed and ready to go back into the field when it is due time to do so.
Does one ever become refreshed in this line of work?
You're a sharp one. I like you. That's an excellent question, my dear. Why don't we discuss this over some more important information when it comes to your next assignment. And she gets up and she makes her way around the bulletproof shield, convinced you are who you say you are. And he kind of puts her arm around you, and it's like, now what can you tell me about Mr. Shaw and his operation in Arkham?
Before we get into that, I'd like to ask, what was the previous Agent Lazarus? What was he like? Did you know him?
I'm afraid, somewhat. I wasn't his handler, not for long anyway. Cell L had their own handler, and, well, that information is confidential, of course. However, I did know of Agent Lazarus's untimely demise, but only after you brought it to our attention. I had thought this entire time that him and his team were working efficiently out of where we placed him. Just chalk it up to another deception by Shaw and his ghoulish minions.
So, he's only recently deceased, essentially.
If I had to wind back the time frame, I'd say he's been dead for several weeks.
He had a dog, and I just wanted to, I know it sounds sentimental, but I don't know, I feel like I can get to know who he was.
Roll me human.
Okay.
This is a contested roll.
Oh no! I only have 14 in this. Oh jeez.
I think you have more than human. Are you rolling on the ghoul sheet, or?
I am.
You have more than that. Oh shit.
It's 14.
All right.
We did get beat back the horror from Betty.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I know that's a specific thing.
That just like
feel lucky.
Yeah, it's
beat back the horror. Beat back the horror like gives you things. It doesn't re-roll.
Not re-roll, but
and actually, I just read it. It's not. You don't pick between HP, sanity, and willpower. You get all three back.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's quite good. Thanks, Betty.
Thanks, Betty.
I was just wondering if I could pass on those things and use it for doggo somehow.
I mean, if you want to.
Can I give the dog my HP and willpower and sanity?
Post-mortem? No.
No!
You monster!
You see Gertrude is so suave when you're like, what about his dog? And she's like, oh my dear. She puts her hand on your arm. She's like, don't worry about the extras. We're taking good care of Agent Lazarus's beloved friends and family. They'll all be apprised, and they'll know that Agent Lazarus died a good death. And don't worry. I mean, you'd feel like, yeah, she's totally up and up. But I mean, anybody else who has any sort of tradecraft gets one glance at her and it's like, wow, she's full of shit. She is the fucking devil incarnate. She's like, don't worry your little head about that. That's nothing to worry about. If you like dogs, let me show you my hunting hounds. And she starts walking you out down to the stairwell.
One more thing. I have a letter for you.
A
that
letter
could
for me?
possibly tell you more on Shaw. It's from him, after all.
All right, let's have it, she says.
He'll pull it out of his pocket and just hand it over gingerly.
You're outside of the. Do you do this while you're inside the office, or while she's trying to walk you out of the office and towards the staircase?
While she's trying to walk me out.
Okay, so you get to the threshold of the office, and she's like, "Oh." She opens it up, and she starts reading it. And she's like, "What the fuck is?" She kind of makes this face, and she kind of looks at you and looks back at this shit, and she starts rubbing her forehead like this, like she's just starting to get a migraine. One moment.
Oh God.
It's like, what? Somebody's phone rings nearby. They answer it.
That would be him.
You see one of the guards like, ma'am, it's for you.
Is there a
What?
restroom I might be able to use?
Right down the hall, darling. She like points you down the hallway. The other agents like, shadow you as you move down there, and you see she picks up the phone. Hello? Who's this? And just as you're walking away, you hear like something behind you, like a shh. It's a familiar sound. It's the sound you heard back then at that high school. You hear shouts. You hear gunfire. What do you do?
What are the bookends doing that are accompanying me?
They're freaking the fuck out. They're making and failing their sanity checks in turn. What are you doing?
Gotta go to the restroom.
Are you actually gonna like dive into the restroom, or are you gonna like the stairway is like right there? Like you have the banister and then like the stairs that spiral down and stuff. And all the agents are like, "What the fuck? Oh shit!" And they start rushing over to grab Gertrude. Gertrude screams, and then the scream is cut short. What do you do? Are you looking back over your shoulder? Are you jump on the banister? Are you going into the restroom? What are you doing?
Oh god. Curiosity wants to turn around and look.
Oh, good. Make a sanity check.
Oh god. Oh jeez. I got.
Do you have any rerolls? You don't want to fail this one. Not like that, especially.
I have a major
Something
boon
from-
to save the doggo.
This counts. It says or you. It says or you.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, if you have another reroll, now is the time. Otherwise, you're going to lose 2d8 worth of sanity.
Holy
Ambrose,
shit.
major boon is plus 40%, which I think makes you succeed.
Oh, thank
Oh.
goodness. Okay. Yay.
Okay, so you only lose 1d4. Or actually, because it's a critical, it's to say you just lose 1. Especially because you've seen this before, but you see the Black of Yib come off of the sheet and envelop Gertrude, head to toe. She's paralyzed. And as the agents try to struggle and bring her into the room, it starts spreading onto them and How would you like to respond to this situation?
Do I have to run past them to jump down this? Okay. Then I'm gonna jump. But also he's gonna find himself start to hyperventilate, remembering that sensation. Just
roll athletics. You have a pretty good chance to outrun every agent in this complex, especially given the circumstances.
what is wrong with my rolls this evening?
You
Holy
jump
crap.
the banister as you're hyperventilating, and your foot gets caught in the banister, and you go tumbling down the stairs. Blah, 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 blah. So let's see. That's gonna be.
I can't even be
2d6.
mad. That's hilarious to picture.
You lose 8 hit points as you're tumbling down the stairs, and you crash through the wooden banister and fall onto granite floors, and you're just oh. You hear shouts. Grab him now! And you see a couple of guys take positions. They start aiming firearms at you. Halt! Stop where you are. We're shooting. Bah, bah, bah. Start firing off. Where are you running to?
Has there been any indication of where Delilah and Donovan are?
No, this is sometime after they already visited the complex. They're not even there.
Gonna run outside and steal one of the cars if possible. But as I'm
steal
running,
the cars, or you want to steal the helo?
oh yes, the helo. Yes, I forgot that was out there. You are a merciful God. As he's running, he's gonna be like, "No way! Do you think I want to stay in here with that stuff? You want me to stop?"
You run your ass out of there, and you run up to the helicopter, and you already know how to like work these controls. These people are not expecting anybody to hijack their helicopters, so everything's exactly where it needs to be. In the reflection, though, you catch sight of Lazarus, not the one that you met inside the head, but the Lazarus, your landlord. Hey, buddy, we're in some shit over here. What's going on, huh?
Oh, I think you know what's going on.
Roll piloting.
Don't have to fake it with me
This
anymore.
is an armored helicopter. The guys on the ground with the handguns are not doing shit to the helicopter.
Yeah,
But after a few rounds, the guys with the assault rifles come out and they start shooting into the tail and try to take you down.
Fuck.
Helo's pretty good though. It goes up, goes forward. You start leaving the compound as soon as possible as they're like trying to shoot out your tail and drive you down. There is smoke trailing from the back, but you can probably maneuver it in such a way that you don't have to worry about this bird crashing and burning with you in it. I need one more piloting check, please.
Lazarus, you don't have to bullshit me anymore. I know what you're up to. I know what your intentions are.
What? Yay! I'm in control here, buddy. All right. I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, I'm aware. I can your thoughts to my thoughts, your mind to my mind. You know that's spark bullshit. I wanted to be more subtle about taking down Delta Green. I didn't want to be so blatant.
Whoa, watch that. He's like, pointing at the controls. You get the feeling that he believes like you're just gonna like crash this thing and him in it. And he's like, whoa, easy there, buddy. You realize that you may have a bargaining chip here. If you threaten him with damage to his body, it seems that you're in control and he's having difficulty taking it back from you, at least for the moment.
I could take this plane. I could take this helo down. Tell me everything.
No. You don't want to do that. Come on now. What do you want, buddy? Come on, let's make a deal. Come on, let's make a deal.
You and me. Against Delta Green. Against Shaw.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, let's do it. Right on. Fight the power. Woohoo!
He's gonna faint that he's gonna crash.
What do you want to know?
He's gonna faint that he crashed. Like he's gonna crash it, just because he doesn't believe that Lazarus is saying okay for real.
He's like, whoa, what do you want to know?
Why?
Okay. So Shaw's got this whole complicated plan, all right? It means that we get more life, that we get more territory, okay? Those corpses, they're dried up, man. There's no more corpses in the fucking cemeteries. We all took them out of the ground already. I mean, even in New York, especially in New York, they're fucking gone. All right. So like, we're running out of bodies. It's not fun.
Running out of bodies. That's what it's about.
A whole bunch more, okay? So here's the plan. You know those tunnels underneath the mansion?
Have you ever seen The Lion King? He's Scar with the fucking hyenas.
He's a fucking hyena, sure. Yeah, okay, let's run with that analogy.
Lazarus. He is Scar from The Lion King, the villain, you know.
Are you talking to me about a Disney cartoon? You know, yes, I'm like 500 years old, right?
I'm pretty sure you've eaten a child at some point. I'm not an idiot.
I mean, a bunch of stuff, okay? Right. Anyway, he's like, look, I'll give you the whole fucking spiel, okay? Just don't scratch the paint, all right? You know what I mean? All right. So he's got these tunnels underneath the house, and they hook up to this like big warehouse or whatever. He's got like some trucks outside that he's planning on doing something involving sound. I don't know. It's like some weird magic ritual shit, and it has to do with the money, man. The money's been printing like by the buttloads. Okay, he's got money laundering. He's got somebody in the Treasury Department. Okay, they got the plates and they're printing money. You know this thing in the back of the dollar bill? Yeah, that's what he's putting on the fucking thing right now. He's gonna kill a bunch of people. All right, it's whatever, but we're gonna get a bunch of corpses. So we're gonna have a fucking buffet.
You are his minion. He doesn't care if you live or die. He doesn't care if we live or die. You are a means to an end.
Aren't we all? Shit.
No. Lazarus, haven't you
You
wanted
work for
something
Delta
else?
Green, I work for this asshole. It's all the same shit. Come on.
And I want out.
Well, there's no getting out of here. I mean, wait. I mean, there is a way out, but you don't want to take that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
Right. That's why I'm saying you and me. Think back of all the people that you've devoured, the taste of freedom in their memories, the thing that you've never had.
Freedom's overrated. Okay, fine. Okay, whatever. Just take it easy. Just set it down. Set it down. Okay, please. I don't want to die again. Please.
Where's Dominique?
I don't know these things. I really don't. But you know who probably does? Your buddies back at Delta Green. Anyway, you got a new boss now because the old one's dead. Surprise.
Gertrude?
Yeah.
I didn't like her.
Oh. I'm pretty sure you won't like the new one either. No, how about we just we settle it down a little bit, okay? That's getting a little too close. Oh, fuck.
Lazarus, where's the dog?
Oh, for fuck's sake, this is about a dog. Fine, we'll find Tootsies and we'll bring them into the tenement building. Whatever you want, right? Whatever you want.
We're not eating the dog.
We're not eating the dog, unless you want me to, in which case I will.
We're not eating the dog.
We're totally not eating the dog. You got it. Take her down, Captain.
Fine.
He's just like, oh shit. He slumps in the cockpit and it disappears. You're in control. You put the bird down onto the savannas nearby. What's that?
Remember, at any time that we need to fly, we could be in this situation again very easily. Just a flip of a switch.
He disappears. Doesn't say a word. You've got him scared now. Once you manage to put down the bird, you manage to walk away. From the explosion, of course. You realize that what Holland Shaw is trying to do, what he did to Gertrude just now, is what he's planning on potentially doing to untold amount of Americans, send their souls en masse to see the Watcher. This, you imagine, is how he will achieve apotheosis. All right, now choose choose from your sheet one of the personal pursuits of your choice. They all have a mechanical benefit of some kind. It's up to you to determine which ones you want for Agent Diver. While we now transition over to... yes.
May I ask where this is? Personal details and... Oh, I see it. Okay, cool.
You see it?
Thank you. Yes,
You're
thank
welcome.
you.
Let's see, who are we gonna go to next? While we now transition over to... we're gonna go with Donovan on this one, I think.
I think you mean Conrad Kessler.
Yes, of course, Conrad Kessler, of course. You too are free to choose a pursuit during your home scene for your character, and you can describe it however you like.
Okay. Let's see. So, what is what is going bonds? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Some of them can increase bonds, others can improve your sanity, and some can reduce your sanity, but increase other things. So for instance, you have fulfill responsibilities. This is like you basically spending time with your bonds, etc. There's no cost to it. You roll sanity. If you fumble, you reduce a bond by D4 and you lose 1 sanity. If you fail, you improve a bond by 1. If you succeed, you improve a bond by D6 up to the maximum, which is your charisma score.
Okay.
If you get a critical, you improve a bond by D6 and you gain 1 sanity. That's just an example of one of the pursuits.
And
Another
I get 1.
might be, yes, depending on what you roll, you get something out of that.
Oh no, sorry, I
It
meant I get to
requires a
do
roll.
one personal pursuit.
Yes.
Oh God, I'm caught between what Kay thinks is a benefit versus.
You can indulge personal motivations, so it just depends on what Conrad Kessler feels is important, given everything that
Also-
he knows leading to this.
I think there's two
moment.
things.
Mhm.
Obviously, at this point, what is important to him is he is not in a good space with his fiance right now. So that is important. But at the same time, I think there is a desire to improve his skill set, because in his mind he failed that mission. Most of the victims died. As far as he's concerned, he lost Diver on that mission, and yeah, so he's caught between this desire to relax and also be with his fiance, as well as try and make sure he's up to snuff.
Okay. So duty to the organization, duty to your bonds. So yeah, you can choose if you want to service one or the other. You can stay on the case.
How do I service both, GM?
Not possible. You have to make a decision.
Oh God, this is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Chat, what should I do?
While you're trying to figure that out.
Yeah, we can move to someone else.
No.
Oh.
You catch yourself staring off into nothing. Maybe this will help you focus.
Okay.
You keep thinking about Berlin. You keep thinking about her. He notices. Asks you if something's the matter, but he already knows something is up. He wants to see if you will broach it with him or if you're going to feed him another line of bullshit.
So Conrad's, wearing his ring, and he takes that hand and he grasps, Red's hand, and he says, I don't want to burden you with it, Red. It is a lot, but I just, the job. You've been there.
Yeah, been there. Which is why I'm not sure why you're not sharing this with me. If we're going to get married, we have to be completely open with one another. This is a relationship that goes both ways. It's built on trust, not convenience.
No, you're certainly not convenient. In the best way. I mean, in the best way.
He laughs. I
can't put you through that. I can't risk you.
What is it about this case? He says, and he shuts off the TV,
We lost someone. A young kid. Well, not a young kid, but a younger guy.
This is like what happened before with your team, right?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
I know. I worked with someone who the morals of some of the people we had to deal with and but we had to prioritize other targets. And I really shouldn't say Red. And he leans in and he sort of like puts his forehead against the other's, his fiance's shoulder. I can't tell you.
All right, I get it. National security and all that fun stuff. But at least tell me how you're feeling. If there's anything I can do to help. We can't we're not meant to struggle on our own,
Just us together and oh God, Donovan pauses for a second because something pops in his mind. He says, what if you asked him to dye his hair purple? And he immediately like dismisses the thought and it
Yeah.
like runs a hand over his face because fuck, that's not good.
You look away, just out of habit, and you keep you have your work phone not too far away, and you keep looking at it.
Yeah.
He hasn't said anything yet, but you've noticed that he's noticed. It's been some time since Arkham, and although you're back home now and you're safe, you still glance at it every few minutes. You're just waiting for that call, the call that will draw you back to the work, back to her.
No, just work.
Just work.
Just work. Just work.
Eventually, though, the phone does light up. It's Director Assistant Hooper. Do you answer?
Of course I answered. I'm Red, and I lean in and I give him just a chast kiss real quick. It's
Redmond's like, please tell me you're not going to get that. And he sees like the resignation on your face. So he gets up and he's like, okay, whatever. Dinner will be in the fridge, he says, and he walks away.
He just picks up the phone. Kessler,
it's me, Hooper.
Hi.
We need to meet. We need to discuss some things about the case. Can't discuss it over the line, but we need to discuss it outside the confines of our office. I need to see you in DC. First flight out as soon as you get a chance. As soon as you hit the ground, I need you to call me.
I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. When was the last time you spoke to Red?
It's been ages. Why?
I was hoping maybe you could have some insight.
Listen, this is none of my business, okay? What
sorry.
you do and what he does is on you. I just need to borrow you for a few hours in DC as soon as you can.
And then I can be back.
Firefighters Museum. We can meet there, and then we'll rendezvous there, and then we'll make our way to the actual meeting point where we'll get to the meat and potatoes.
Right. If I drive, I could probably be in DC in 3 or 4 hours.
All right, make it so.
All right. And how long? So I just the visit, and then I can come back, or?
This is about a case, so that's completely up to you.
Thank you, Assistant Director Hooper.
This is the one you've been waiting for. Don't disappoint. He hangs up.
Just look at the phone and I put it down. Just a big sigh. Red.
You know what that meant? That was code for Dominique.
Yep. I know exactly what it meant. And he's gonna walk towards the kitchen where Red disappeared to.
All right, so where are we going this time, huh? He says as he's like, going through like the pantry and like preparing like food for the go. Like he's gonna pack up a bunch of stuff for you and like put it in so that you can take it with you.
I'll be back hopefully by the end of the night, maybe early morning. It's just a meeting about a possible case in DC.
How many? DC. Okay. It's quite a lot ways. How long is it going to be for? Do you know?
Hooper didn't say.
She never does. Okay. He packs a couple things in Tupperware and puts it in a bag for you, and like, he's like, I got your suits over here, and like he goes over to the other side of the house, and like, your suits are pressed and dry cleaned and everything like that. So he takes them out and like gets you prepared and stuff. You almost feel like he's kicking you out of the house, but it doesn't.
Yeah,
but it's not quite as dramatic.
Yeah, and he just sighs and sort of looks at him and he says, "I promise. Once this is dealt with, we're gonna take a vacation, just us. I'll use I have so many days unused. I'll use them.
I'm gonna hold you to it. He's safe. He kisses you.
And I kiss him. And he hates this, but he pulls off the engagement ring and he hands it to him. And he just says, keep it safe for me. I don't want anything to happen.
Okay, all right. Have a fun time in DC.
He knows that he doesn't wear it on missions.
Yeah.
It's got a name inscribed. It's dangerous.
Yeah. He keeps it by the bedside, like on the, armoire. All right, and you're gone. Are you driving or are you flying?
Driving. Because I live, a few hours outside as an agent. I live a few hours outside,
So it's just a couple hours. It's mostly a blur. It's night. It's stormy out. Not great. You have trouble sleeping since Arkham, since New Jersey. But you've had lots of practice not getting any sleep anytime you close your eyes now. So that's fun.
I've got pills and a therapist that Gertrude set me up with.
Of course. No wrong. You don't meet her at the usual location, which is typically her office. Instead, after the rendezvous, you follow her and a couple other vehicles into what appears to be a large parking garage next to an empty sports stadium. Pull into this space on the basement level, and you wait as instructed. You park the car. A few minutes go by, and you get a text to exit the vehicle. That's when a couple of other cars appear nearby. Program agents emerge. They're all, sunshades at night and bulging dinner jackets. Hooper appears looking very clandestine. What was that?
Oh yeah, Conrad is still like in the sweater and the things like that. Like he's kind of somewhat trying to make a point, like he's supposed to theoretically be off right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a strange tension in the air as she sort of halts by one of the pillars and waits for you to approach. Yeah. She's holding what appears to be a very thick dossier. Dominique's, no doubt. Give me an alertness check, please.
An alertness check?
Yeah.
Spicy. Odd duck dice. Help me out here. Let's see. Spaghetti-o. I think I upset the odd duck dice. I don't think that's good. Where are my stats? Alertness. Nope, that is a 68 out of 56.
Ooh, that's a failure. Did you have a reroll that you wanted to use, or you want to keep that for right now?
No, let's keep that. Let's work with that.
It's hard to tell down here, but some of the agents, as you're passing by them, just have a passing familiarity to you. It's hard to tell, though, because of the dim light of the garage basement. Anyhow, you see Hooper comes up, and she seems to be. Somebody comes up next to her, and they seem to be holding like a bag. You know what this is? It's something called a Faraday bag. Essentially, it kind of keeps transmissions from entering or leaving it. It's kind of like it's a Faraday cage. It's essentially in a bag form. You know what this means. They're basically asking you to turn over your work phone and put it in the Faraday bag.
Yep, work phone goes in the Faraday bag.
So whatever's happening right now is super duper clandestine. No listening devices of any kind, etc. She commends you at first. Some spectacular work in Arkham, Agent Donovan. Now I need you to finish the job. You've been waiting for this one for a long time, I'm sure. Find her. You know what to do from there. Oh, and one last thing. For the type of mission that this is, we can't allow this to fall back on the agency. I need your gun and your badge. Where you're going, you won't need any badges.
So you're saying this is unsanctioned?
Correct.
So how am I supposed to bring her in?
She looks over to the guy holding the bag. He takes out another bag in turn. It's not a Faraday bag, but inside, it's whatever it is very heavy. He hands it to you. Something clacks inside when you look. It's an unlicensed firearm and a couple of clips full of ammunition.
Are you asking me to do what I think you're asking me to do?
She just looks at you like, are you fucking shitting me? You've been begging for this assignment for years. Give me an intelligence roll, please. I need
Never
you to...
begged to kill. He's always... Oh, that's a fucking... Oh, God. I always forget this. Is the dot on the bottom for the 6 or the 9? It's for the 9, right?
I mean, as long as you're consistent. It usually goes on the
Right.
bottom, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's next to the 5 and the 1, that's a 9, right? Right. Okay, that's a 9.
Like 009? Okay.
Like an odd duck. It's a 009.
Very nice. You recall there's something about this whole thing. You remember Gertrude when you were on the premises in Atlanta
Mhm.
on the plantation house. She said something very specific to you and to Agent Delilah.
Mhm.
If anyone other than I gives you mission assignment, be sure to properly dispose of them. Do you hand over your sidearm and your badge?
How many people are here?
Several. There's one standing right next to Agent Hooper. There's a couple of the guys by your car. There's a couple of the guys by their car. Big SUVs, with the blacked out windows. There's easily about like 5 or 6 agents here.
I'll leave them at home with Red.
No, you'll leave them with us here. They'll be returned to you when you get back, and you will come back, preferably with her. Hot or cold, it doesn't matter to me how you bring her in, as long as you bring her in.
You're putting me in an uncomfortable position, Hooper. I thought we were better.
And yet, this is exactly the position that you've been asking for all this time. This is what you've been waiting for, Agent Donovan. It doesn't use your real name in the presence of the other ones here.
Oh, she's like my regular FBI.
Yes, but she knows you're Delta Green, which means what exactly? She's Delta Green.
And I think like in that moment, she says that, and his eyes just go wide. Just like, we need to talk, Hooper. Just
we
us.
are talking right now.
We need to talk without, and he like looks around, without the ensemble. Let's just go to keep the Faraday bag. Let's just go grab a coffee or something.
This is an operation, Agent Donovan. This is not a get together. You had your orders from your handler, do you or do you not?
I do.
Good. Now you will carry them out. Gun and the badge in the bag. Take the sidearm with you.
So like I'm looking at this situation right now. There's me by myself and 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
There's like no way I could shoot her and immediately not die.
How do you want to play it? Do you comply?
He hands it over.
Good, she says. She hands you the file and the unlicensed firearm, the 2 full magazines. With the file in hand and your new sidearm, you ready yourself to drive off into the night, dialing in on your quarry, Dominique Staker. It's like, I know you won't let us down, but watch your back out there. Dominique Staker is one of a kind, and we don't trust her with your safety. Hence, these precautions.
What you mean stripping me of Hooper? I misconstrued who we were to each other. And I've learned that tonight. And I appreciate that. Don't pretend
Keep
you
it professional, Agent Donovan.
Yes,
Keep
exactly. Mm-hmm.
She nods to the other ones and they start turning to leave to get into their vehicles. You have the coordinates that Miss Dominique gave you. What do you do with them?
Well, first I want to look at this file. What's in here? Is there anything I actually don't know?
This is everything. This is everything you knew and more. This is stuff that wasn't officially like on the papers. This is shit that wasn't anywhere on Interpol's radar even. Like, this is a Delta Green dossier on Dominique. This isn't like whatever they picked up at the local precinct or some bullshit, right? So every little dirty fucking thing that she's done, all the people she's burned, literally and figuratively, all her contacts, everything. This is the Bible of Dominique Staker and how to potentially find her and use things against her as leverage.
So I've got her bonds and their locations.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you sure do. Kronos and I forget the other one right now.
Nyx.
Nyx, that's right.
And any of the others are all named after Greek titans or pantheon, as you want.
Excellent.
How far is Kronos from my location?
Hold on, I'm rolling dice here. Within the continental United States, so an air flight or away.
I'm heading to Kronos' location, and I reach out to Hooper on secure line. You've better have 3 graves dug, Hooper.
Only 3?
Oh, you, me, Dominique.
Laughs over the phone, hangs up.
That before you go, I
Oh.
need a drop bag. At this location, we're starting here. I need to be able to pick it up. Sniper. My style, you know what I use.
No, it's like we afforded you the one untraceable weapon. Anything above that is completely on your shoulders, Agent Donovan. Good day. Click. Drive off into the night. Another sleepless evening, keeping you up all night. Okay.
ST.
Mhm.
If I plan to kill this person, should I roll for that now, or how do you want to handle that?
We'll handle it eventually. Later this
Okay.
session, probably.
Okay.
Did you pick a pursuit?
Well, given what I'm doing now, I think I've answered what I'm unfortunately doing. Which is I am strengthening a skill.
Oh, very good. Okay. Go ahead and record that on your character sheet. And then we can move right along to...
Should I roll for it, or now the thing, or?
You can. Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
Other section. That would be improve skill / stat. So I just roll a D100? And I'm
you're doing improving a skill?
Yeah.
Okay, so you reduce a DG bond, a non-DG bond, by 1 for each increase. You can do 2 skills or stats to be improved.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So I get 2 skills and stats for... Wowzers. Okay, for each... Yeah, so I think... Well, so I guess what does Hooper count as now?
She's a bond.
Cool. Well, I think I just... So I can increase for as many bonds as I fuck over in that?
Well, it says improve skills or stats, and that's one of the pursuits, but you reduce a non-Delta Green bond. She's a Delta Green bond.
Okay,
by 1 for each increase.
Okay, so she's now no longer considered one of my regular bonds because I found out she's Delta Green.
Right.
Okay. So if I
And you
increase
roll on the 2 skills or stats that you want to improve, and depending on whether you fail or succeed, you will roll or add things accordingly.
and I can only take 1 point. Or can I do multiple?
You can do 2. By doing so, you reduce one of those bonds by 1 each for each increase. But in order to do the increase, you have to roll on the 2 skills or stats that you're improving. What you want is to fail, because when you roll and you fail, you add 1 to a stat or 3d6 to a skill. If you succeed, you add nothing. So this is like, you don't want to pick your highest skill or your highest stat, because that's going to be easy to succeed on. These are ones that you want to improve on, after all.
Okay, but I can't, like, let's say, take 2 away from a bond and get to do it multiple times. It's a one shot.
It's a one-shot thing, right?
Okay.
Like you basically just reduce. Like if you wanted to increase 2 skills, you reduce 2 bonds or 1 bond by 2 points each, and then you roll those skills to see what you increase or whether they increase at all. And yeah, you can pick the same skill twice if you wanted to, or the same stat twice. So like you get up to 2 rolls to succeed, or rather fail, so you can increase.
All right.
Go ahead and roll it out. Let me know what you get.
And I want to fail. Okay. We're going to start with. Let's see. Oh god, this is heady. What's important here?
What is important? Only you know that.
I'm gonna try and fail on something I'm good at.
Okay.
Let's see how we go. What happens when you get a 99?
That's a fucking failure. That is a straight up failure. So in that particular case, let's see, failure, you add 1 to, if it's a stat, you add 1 to it immediately. Or if it's a skill, you roll 3d6 and you add that to the skill.
We're rolling 3d6 to firearms.
Oh shit. Okay.
4,
Oh, fucking
3,
A.
3. So 6 plus 4 is 10. That's insane.
God, I'm afraid to ask. So are you in like the 90s now? You're like one of the best shots in the world.
Yeah, he is. This is what he does, and he's a man on a mission. I should probably fuck with one of those skills that I'm bad at that I should be good at. Oh, can I do it for a cult?
Occult? Sure. You want to delve into the occult? Sure.
Or actually, oh no, what I should do is dodge.
Dodge. Might be wise considering who you might be going up against.
Yeah, all right, that's a 77 on my 30 dodge.
Well then, roll 3d6, and then reduce a bond by 2 or 2 other bonds by 1 each.
Oh wow, 12, 16 points to dodge. That becomes 46. Wow. And while I was home, I've been so distracted, I haven't called Keen at all.
No, you have not. I'm going to say that Keenan is a sort of a rich dilettante in Massachusetts. So he can get you things if you ask nicely.
Okay, yeah. So Keen, haven't spoken to Keen in a bit, so it's an 8. But yeah, I guess I'll be calling Keen and putting them in an awkward position.
Okay.
I know anywhere I can get a sniper in XYZ location.
Excellent. All right. So I think we've got 2 out of 4 for the home scenes, and we have some improvements. This is probably as good a chance as any to take a short break, and we shall return in about 10 minutes. The time is now 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. We shall return in 10 minutes time. And we have returned from our break. Two of our players did some home scenes and did some role play there. Now we're going to proceed with the other two players, beginning with Agent Delilah. You don't sleep much these days. Your dreams, when they come, are all the same. You're back to that night in the gymnasium. You're all thrashing about in that pool, sinking, drowning in slow motion. Mishandra's eyes stare at you from its depths. You couldn't save her, and it leads you to wonder if you'll be able to save your own skin. You're a survivor, though. The black blood of Yib couldn't or wouldn't touch you. The sign you carved into your leg, though it robbed you of something, gave you something back with which to fight against things like it, unnatural things. You're on sabbatical after the events in Arkham and New Jersey. During that time, your best friend since grade school, Emma Nichols, has been calling, texting, and knocking on your door day and night since you've returned home. When you were young, you did everything together. Now that you're adults, you couldn't be further apart. Still, she is persistent in pursuing your friendship. The yin to your yang, Emma is youthful and positive and energetic, while you feel the opposite more and more with each passing day. You awaken to incessant knocking coming from the door. Hello? Viv, I know you're home. Come on, open up. How do you respond?
On some level, Delilah or Vivian recognizes that what she's doing, like this sort of cycle that she's caught in, is not healthy. And so this is the time when she'll throw on a robe and answer the door.
Okay. Marmalade kind of like jumps onto the bed and kind of like nuzzles your hand as you walk past. You go to the door and she's there. She's as she always is, as you imagine in your mind. She always appears in her like jogging outfit. She's got bags full of groceries and stuff like she's waiting to bring into your apartment. The moment that she's realized that you were back from assignment, she came right over. Of course, you've had a lot to process since that time. Make a helplessness check, please. In this case, roll sanity.
Oh, success. I got a 16.
Excellent. Okay. So you don't like lose a whole bunch of sanity or anything like that for having lost Mishandra. You just lose the one. And you're keeping it together. What specific pursuit did you want to take for Delilah while she's in sort of like this recuperation mode in between assignments?
Remind me my options, please.
Yes, you're actually, if you scroll all the way to the bottom of your character sheet, they're all listed. So you have things like fulfill responsibilities, which is, you get to reduce a bond by 4. You roll your sanity.
Oh, I
and
see.
Yeah, you can go back to nature. You can go hiking, which she likes to do. You can establish a new bond. You can go to therapy and share truthfully. You can go to therapy and lie. You can improve a skill or stat. You can indulge a personal motivation. You can undertake special training. You can stay on the case, which is an increase potentially for criminology or occult. Or you could study the unnatural. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Let's study the unnatural.
Fantastic. Oh, very good. So you're going to reduce a non-delta green bond by 1d4. And let's see, what are you pursuing as far as the unnatural is concerned? Ghouls, Yib.
How the fuck Did John Cross know to say that?
Time. That's what you're concerned about.
Yeah,
Interesting.
like that's like she's almost getting obsessive over it.
Oh, that's so good. So, if you're pursuing the unnatural, I'm gonna have you go ahead and roll a d4 and reduce one of your bonds by that much. And
Oh, that's a 4. I
wow.
will reduce the bond with my mentor by 4 because
Mm,
so what she's doing is you can only call upon your mentor for so much for so long, and she's like constantly like 3 a.m. phone calls like, hey, look, I was just thinking this one thing about the John Cross case. And like he's like, Delilah, you gotta stop this. I'm like, yeah, okay, but this one is important. It just keeps doing that and doing that.
okay. He in the time that you've spent off from Delta Green, he's kind of washed his hands of you a little bit. He just kind of sends you a link, uh, or he gives you a name and a number to call, rather, and then he says, "Don't contact me again about this." After that, but you have a lead if you wanted to delve further into John Cross and find out how, in fact, he knew the things that he knew and so on and so forth. It's someone in the corrections facility at ADX Florence, the Supermax prison in Colorado. Up to you whether you want to make that phone call. But I'm going to go ahead and say that you do, so you can increase potentially some unnatural. Go ahead. What do you have in unnatural currently, or occult?
6.
6 only?
In unnatural, yes.
Does that include the 4 that I told everybody to increase by?
Yes, because I was starting with 2.
Interesting. Okay. What do you
Occult,
have
I
in
have a
occult?
12.
Roll percentile.
97.
Wow, big numbers. Okay.
Yay.
I'm gonna give you the I'll have something here in a second for you, but go ahead and increase your unnatural from 6 to 10. The sheet will make the adjustment for your maximum sanity automatically.
Yay.
So you've studied into some of the stuff, and you've stayed up very long nights since you're having trouble sleeping anymore after encountering what you encountered. And you learned that there was some strange connection between Yib and time. She seems to work in cycles. So with her and her cult, there's something weird going on there with time that you can't quite get a handle on. You don't know what the deal is with John Cross, but he seemed to know what was going to happen before it happened. And the people at ADX Florence were freaked the fuck out because of it. Delta Green keeps a file on this guy somewhere. They don't let anybody look at it. Probably because most of them went batshit crazy. But
Like
you have
I'm
an
in the
in.
process of doing right now.
Yeah. You have an in, though. You might be able to get to some of those video interviews you've heard so much about. If you ask very nicely, perhaps the person working at the ADX Florence facility might allow you some access that you otherwise wouldn't be able to gain, even through your channels with Delta Green. The door opens up to your apartment, and there, of course, is Emma, and she's like, "Where have you been? Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you." She puts the stuff down. She goes in for a hug. How do you react, Delilah?
She'll return the hug. Have you seen that one photo? It's a still from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and it's Charlie in front of like the corkboard conspiracy thing. This is probably what is going on in Delilah's apartment with like
Oh,
open
wonderful.
books, newspaper clips. Like she started with a corkboard and now she's like tacking things into the wall because she's want to run out of room.
Mm-hmm. You see, she's like, Oh my God, what is going on here? What happened to your apartment? Oh, is that you, or is there garbage in the room? She's like looking around, and she
Ah,
starts like
shit, that's
picking her
some
way
old
through it.
Chinese. It's fine. I'll throw it out. Marmalade,
I'll take care of
no.
it. I'll take care of it. Don't worry. Look, I got some fresh groceries. She has up these big bags, and she goes like jogging into your kitchen, starts setting stuff down. Also, I got you a special surprise. I didn't forget your birthday's coming up. All right, I got you this nice special birthday cake. You want to take a look and see what it is? I bet you can't. I bet you can't guess what flavor I got you.
Fuck, it's my birthday?
How could you forget your birthday, silly goose?
I'm so sorry, Emma. I've just been. Work has been absolutely nuts.
You know what you need? You need a good run. Give me human, please.
Success! And with a 9.
You've known Emma for a very long time, and she's very physically fit and everything, and like she's very endearing, and she's always been there for you. But the way that she's coming across right now is a little unusual, even for her perky nature, right? She's like, you want to go for a jog later? We can go running out. I know there's a great place, there's a great path, like right down the street in the park. You're gonna love it. It's great.
I think Delilah like looks at her best friend and like can tell that something's off, but then like she looks back to her absolute disaster of an apartment and like the cat like stealing orange chicken. Uh yeah. Yeah, I could stand
Marmalade, you can go for a jog, you say?
I could stand to get out of the apartment for a little bit. Let me go change into my joggers.
Okay, but first I want to show you this cake, right? Close your eyes.
Okay.
He turns around, you hear like, and you hear like a, you know that sound, that's Marmalade. You kind of crack your eye open for a little bit, and she's standing on one of the chairs, and she's just like on all fours with the hair standing up in the back, and like, hissing at her. She jogs right past her, or like as soon as that happens, she kind of stops and then goes around, you know? Hey, what's wrong with you, Marmalade? She goes out to the hallway where she has like a box, you know, one of those like cakes in the box things. She brings it out. She goes over. She grabs a knife and a couple of plates. First, we celebrate your birthday, okay? She opens up the box. It's a big fruitcake looking thing. You can smell the rum just sort of wafting off of it, right? She's like, go ahead. Here, let me cut you a slice. Like she kind of like slices into the thing. Cat's still hissing at her.
Oh, Marmalade, stop that. You know Emma.
And see, she kind of like slices a big chunk of cake and puts it on a plate for you and slides it over. There's like a big, wet, runny middle to it. Looks like a vein of cherry or strawberry or something like that. And she's just like, go ahead, have a slice.
So,
She leans in uncomfortably close. How do you like it?
Delilah is going to fake an absolute breakdown. She's like, oh my god, I forgot my own birthday, and you're here with cake, and oh my god. And she's gonna give Emma a nice big long hug, remembering what happened when she was grappling with Diver.
Oh, right. You go to grab her and like you kind of like look at Marmalade, who's just kind of like just freaking out over Emma, and you catch a glimpse of her reflection in the mirror across the room, and what you're hugging is not Emma, and when you turn back, it sure looks like her. And then she brings up the blade and drives it into your hand as you kind of like, oh shit, reflexively put it up. The blade sinks in and out of your hand. And it just over and over again. Pieces of your fingers fly off with the rapid strikes of the blade. You're bleeding. but you feel nothing after the icy cold touch of the steel edge. Your scream gets caught in your throat, but not Emma's. Why won't you love me? And then you wake up.
Fuck.
Hello? Viv, are you home?
Shit.
Maybe you don't want to be home right now, something tells you.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Your cat's scratching at the door. Meow. Meow. Meow, meow.
I know. Not today, kitty. I think today's another indoor day.
Eventually, the banging stops. And she goes away. What do you do now? You've had a very, very long week of in and out sleep. You're starting to experience weird waking visions, almost hallucinations, perhaps. You go walk. You kind of saunter into your kitchen, and you see like the leftovers, kind of like on the stove, like runny eggs and stuff like that. You kind of poke at it, and some of the yolk breaks and stuff like that, and it seems runny, and like it almost reminds you of the gaping wound that was left in Shelley's back after Harriet shot her. And it's just like stuff like that kind of brings you back into those moments, and you have to kind of shake yourself awake. How does Delilah spend her time at home?
I'm going to brew a double batch of coffee and
Okay.
then just sort of like drink it while staring at her conspiracy board, petting the cat,
Mhm.
and then just like, yeah, I gotta go call Colorado.
You call this guy who happens to be one of the he's like a warden's assistant, like the captain of the of the guard, so to speak, at that ADX Florence. He's got ins with Delta Green, you suspect, because he was front and center when these interviews were taking place. He answers the phone. Call him John Flores. He answers the phone. This Flores.
Hello, this is Agent Delilah. Or, she'd probably give her actual name.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, look, I'm working on a case right now that I think might be connected to the John Cross case.
The
And-
line goes silent when you say that.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I have it here in my notes that there's some video recordings of interview sessions. I'm wondering if I could requisition those.
Are you sure you want to do that?
You know, I really appreciate that question. And I'm at a point right now where I think it's not want to, but have to.
What do you have higher, persuade or bureaucracy?
Oh goodness, let's see. My persuade is at 71 and my bureaucracy is at 61.
Okay, go ahead. Roll whichever one is highest for you. Whichever one you
Oh
feel lucky
god.
with. Do you have a
No.
reroll would you like to spend?
Ah,
No, that's okay.
I don't think so.
He's just like, the tapes. You want to see the tapes. Let me tell you a little story, lady. I know about 3 people that were involved in John Crossan investigations. I attended all 3 of their funerals. If you're
I'm
serious,
really sorry to hear that.
Yeah, one of the last investigators that dealt with that ended up going away for a long time. Double homicide, attempted suicide. It wasn't pretty. I don't recommend you go anywhere near John Cross or those interviews. Just treat it like plutonium. I'm gonna stay as far away from it as possible. Do you try to like bribe him or something, or is there some other way that you're going to try to entice him? Because persuading him didn't work. You can try to use your position within the agency to request to insist that you can pull that information. However, if you do that, you have to roll bureaucracy, and if you want to auto succeed, I'll allow it, but you have to roll exposure.
Okay.
Because this is a new case, exposure has restarted to 1.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll just
listen,
be
this is an
like,
official investigation, blah 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 blah.
yeah, I'll be very apologetic. Like, I'm very sorry for your loss, but I am a trained professional and this is necessary, so I'm making a formal requisition.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and move. If you want to do the auto success, I'll go ahead and move exposure to 2.
Okay.
He's like, hey, I'm an official case. I'm sorry, but I need to borrow this. Like, all right, I don't say I didn't warn you. And it's like, if you want the tapes, I have a couple of some of the interviews. I'll give them to you when you unless if you have like a cloud drop off or something like that, just give me the link and I'll send it to you. Otherwise, you're gonna have to pick them up in person. Actually, he insists that you pick him up in person because he wouldn't want this sort of stuff proliferating on the internet or anything like that, and
that
be
makes
tracked
sense.
back to him.
I guess I'm going to Colorado.
Okay, ADX Florence, big old Supermax prison, multiple fences, high security. These are where they keep the Hannibal Lecters of the Delta Green universe in this case. In real life place, but in this particular location, this is where they kept John Cross up until the moment that he disappeared. He had crossed a couple state lines, and mostly the crimes that he had committed took place in states that didn't have capital punishment, even though that the families were very much pushing for him to be executed. Up until something happened and someone discovered that, actually he had taken somebody from a different state that did have a death penalty, and they wanted to extradite him to that place. Somewhere along the line, somewhere along that shuttle, when they were transporting him, he disappeared like Houdini. They don't like to talk about John Cross out here. But Mr. Flores is more than willing to acquiesce to your request. He sees you upon coming in. You show up in your duds and your sunshades and stuff like that, and you wave your badge around. They lead you right into his office. Agent Davis? Yes. Vivian Davis?
Yes.
He pulls out a couple of discs, and he's like, we have it in different hard copies. We have it on DVDs. We have it on old style tapes. We couldn't get the recordings, he said, and kind of lays them out on the table. The recordings could never work right. I don't know what it was about Cross, but every time we recorded any kind of session, any kind of interview, the playbacks were never quite the same. There was always something off about the recording. We tried various different types of media. Nothing worked well. It was, I don't know.
Do you still have
take a look
those?
at it for yourself.
Do you still have those files?
These are the only hard copies that we managed to maintain here at the facility. Some guy from the National Reconnaissance Office came by with a whole team, and they had reams of paperwork that said that they needed to requisition the other hard copies. These are just the backups, so it's not everything. But there you are. That's everything that we got. And he plops down. In addition to that, he puts down like the dossier on John Cross, and it's like, this guy is a fucking sphinx. When you start flipping through the pages and stuff like that, his fingerprints are in no database whatsoever. They've cross-referenced them into Interpol and everything. There's nothing on this guy. It's like he fell out of the sky one day and he decided to start abducting children. he gives you the full reign of this media room that has different types of equipment available that you can use to access those recordings in whatever medium you want. VHS, DAT tape, DVD, whatever. There's a scattering. There's maybe like 6 interviews in total, spread throughout that you can view. That you try to psychoanalyze him or whatever. So far, you've only had a couple recordings and nothing definitive. You never actually seen a recording of like actual video.
So Delilah is gonna sort of double fist this, where she is going to play the same interview on VHS and DVD and like hold them up against each other to see if there's like any difference in the recordings.
Okay, neat. Yeah, go ahead and you start setting it up and everything, and you start like watching it like a hawk. Like you requisition a couple of cups of coffee and stuff like that to keep you awake, and you're watching these tapes and you're watching them, and it's always the same thing. It's always the same angles. He's sitting just out of view, like on the side, like you catch it like from a 3/4 view from behind, and then there's another camera kind of set up like that's aimed at him, but like anytime you try to get a good look at his face, it's always blurry or it's like scratchy quality video. You can never quite get a good glimpse of his face. His voice goes up and down in octave. It oscillates in and out of accents. Like nobody can nail down where this guy comes from or anything of the sort. He's all over the place, and it's always something similar. Like one of the interviews, the guy is one of the investigators is asking him questions about what he did with these kids and stuff like that, and starts talking about something else completely, and he gets to the point where this happens for so long that eventually the same investigator comes in and tries to shoot him. At that point, the camera goes everything goes like staticky, and the next thing you know, there's like a dull gunshot wound. It sounds like a gunshot wound, like on a scratchy quality video. And the next thing, when the static, resumes back to normal video feed, John Cross is sitting right there. There's not a scratch on him, but the guy's brains is blown out from the back of his head and onto the wall.
Oh shit!
People come in, like they point guns at John Cross, and John Cross is like, "I didn't do anything." The other guy just goes crazy, tries to attack him, reach over the table, like, "What the fuck did you do to those kids, you son of a bitch? Tell me what the fuck you did!" And then the other guards have to come in and basically like physically separate him from the group. But the whole time, John Cross like, like laughing like an evil supervillain or whatever. You put those two videos together at the same time, you start watching them, and you're like kind of going in and out of like like you're physically exhausted, so you're just kind of like, ugh. And you kind of like notice, what's your alertness?
What is my alertness? 61.
Oh, that's very good alertness. You notice that as you're watching the videos, certain little things start to change, little details from here and there. You're not sure if there's a delay somehow. You're pretty sure you simultaneously hit the play on both of them, and they're both playing at the same time, same frame rate and everything. But like in one of them, like it almost like it's an after image or an after motion of the other. Like kind of John Cross just kind of like waves like this to the camera, and in the other one he doesn't. And then he kind of moves his hand like that, and it's like, wait, did I just fucking see that? And you rewind it, and like you play it back. Sure as fucking shit, he doesn't wave. You know what you just saw. He doesn't wave the second time you play it through. Roll sanity.
Oh, success. I rolled a 35.
No sanity lost yet. But as you watch the interview, you kind of like, you focus on the one. So you kind of watch it from beginning to end, and it's like, what do these shoes mean to you, John? He puts like these kids' shoes, empty shoes in front of him, and John's like, "Oh, hello, welcome back. It's so good to finally meet you again. How was school? And you see the investigator's like, stop fucking with me, John. You know what I'm asking. You know what happened to these kids. You took them. Tell me what happened now. Where did you take them? I didn't take them anywhere they didn't want to go. Are you still looking for answers to your questions? Tell me, Agent, how is she? And you see the investigator's like, what the fuck are you talking to? No, you're talking to me right now. Talk to me. I don't know who you're looking at. Focus on me, motherfucker. You're gonna answer my questions. Do you miss her, love? Do you miss her embrace?
Delilah will say out loud in the middle of this room, "No, I don't, motherfucker. Now give me some answers."
What would you like to know?
Delilah was not expecting that.
Roll sanity, please.
Oh, God. Oh my
Cool.
God. I rolled a 47 out of 44.
Lose a D4 hit points, please. I mean D4 sanity. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Oh, that's a full 4.
Yum. All right, you're not quite losing your mind as late right now, but this is fucking insane. You don't know how to react to this. How does Agent Delilah react to somebody who's speaking through time at her from out of time?
So for right now, she will accept the reality of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And she will ask, how are you talking to me?
Oh, you know. Just use your imagination.
Are you with Yib?
I am so far beyond what you and the others understand. Are you with her?
I'm trying to fight her.
You'll lose. The whole time, the investigator's like, what the fuck? It's like, shut the fuck up, you crazy son of a bitch. And eventually, like, the guard's like, all right, you gotta, hey, you time out, bro. Come on, let's go. No, he's fucking lying. He's fucking full of shit. Ah, they get dragged away, and he's like in the room
as
by
they're
himself.
dragging him away, Delilah's gonna ask, where is Holly?
Where is who?
Holly. Because he mentioned the kids were on the shores of Lake Holly.
Would you like to see? Would you like to go? Or
yes.
No one else has gone. You see, right then, you see like something happens to the screen, like starts like shaking and jittering and stuff, and he starts turning towards the video, almost like the video itself is the recording is fighting him doing so, and he just kind of slowly turns and looks right at you. Oh, I have so many things to show you. Roll sanity again, please.
Oh no. Oh my god. Oh, that's a fumble.
Okay.
That's a bad fumble.
You lose 8. Did you already hit your breaking point?
Yes, because it's 33, and now I'm at 32.
Okay. So you have a disorder now. You can choose what that is.
I mean, she's been hallucinating so much. I feel that makes the most sense.
You feel this hand come out of the monitor and grab a hold of your head and pull you in, like Freddy Krueger style. And you start tumbling through a wall of static. You crash through it and it breaks like glass. It starts cutting you on the way through. You hear him overhead like, poor little agents looking for answers in all the wrong places. You fall through these houses that you remember from your childhood, and as soon as you impact into them, they turn into sand and they cut you like razors. And when you fall through, you hear this, you kind of impact something and it goes black. Everything goes black around you. And when you wake up, you wake up to the sounds of waters hitting a shore somewhere. And light kind of hitting your eyelids. And when you wake up, you realize you're not anywhere you ever remembered before. You're somewhere else. And overhead, you see him looming over you like a giant. And as you start to get up, you realize your movements feel jerky, like they're not your own. Like your arms and your legs are stiff, like a puppet on a series of strings. When you look up, you see the puppet master looming over you, smiling down at you. Tell me, little girl, what do you want?
To understand.
How much do you want to know?
All of it?
All of it. Your wish is my command. So, you have now communed with John Cross and entered into an infernal pact with him.
Oh no.
Roll percentile.
Oh,
Roll
no.
percentile.
No. 37.
That's how much unnatural you gain?
Oh shit.
And also how much sanity you lose.
I'm at 0. I'm at negative sanity.
Well then, how would you like to proceed?
Can she do?
Yeah, I'm at negative 5 sanity.
Oh, goody.
And I hit another breaking point on the way down. If that matters.
So, 2 disorders, sure. Now, granted, I don't think you've fulfilled your home. Sorry, go ahead.
I say sort of slowly just to your 1,000 to return sanity to Delilah.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Thank you, Sword of Slade.
Let's see. Permanent insanity. Just so you know, if ever your sanity drops to 0, you become permanently insane and you become a non-player character. I'll allow the sanity to go back up in this particular case, but you get all the fun little disorders on the way down the insanity tree. And you get to decide how you react when you inevitably fall back into your chair and go, what the fuck just happened?
So am I back at 32?
How much did this recover you from? Did it bring you back up to your breaking point?
Well, so I rolled 37.
Mm-hmm.
So the 10K redeem, you go back to your power of sanity. I think is that 10K good redeem.
Oh. Shit.
Saved you in a clutch moment. All right.
He just wants to see me suffer.
I know. But here's the fun part. You get a fun, cool new toy to play with.
Do it.
Uh,
Okay. My
yeah.
unnatural is so high that I don't get my
Pet
full
Miyaki?
sanity.
Oh no, this goes beyond like summoning a weird servitor or something like that. This is something only one other player character had, and that was Tyler's character. Just to kind of give you an idea what kind of shit you're messing with right now. Let's see. I'm just gonna
I'll take the
fetch
Pepsi
these,
challenge on that.
Yeah, why not? Let's see here. Just gonna fish this out of here real quick.
All aboard the bad decision bus.
Glad it's not me this game.
Yeah. I'll find the thing here in a second. I'll give you exactly what that ability is, but it's pretty significant. In the meantime, how does Agent Delilah react to everything that she just experienced?
So she comes to, probably with the TVs that she's got hooked up doing like static or like screensavers as appropriate.
Mhm.
And she just looks around at the walls, which are probably, because this is a prison, gray concrete. And like she was just on this mystical lake on the shores of infinity,
Mhm.
and the walls are closing in on her. And she can't be here. She can't breathe. She just gets super claustrophobic and just grabs her bag and doesn't bother collecting any of the other tapes, doesn't bother signing out or saying goodbye, and just like needs to be outside.
Yeah. Okay. You get the hell out of there, and you see Flora's like, "Hey, wait, your things!" Like you just leave everything and like go outside, smoke a cigarette or something, whatever it is that you're going to do.
No, she
As you're
leaves. She leaves the prison, and like as they call after her, she's just like, burn them all.
and you can hear him laughing in the back of your mind, like, um, excellent. Your phone rings, by the way. You get a buzzing sound, and you see it's a message from someone named Fernandez. This is your Delta Green phone, so this is an encrypted message. It reads the following: Gertrude is dead. Shaw and his people were behind it. And then it just leaves coordinates. You have been cordially invited to another night at the opera. And now we'll move on to Miss Dominique.
Let's go.
So, I kind of need to know where Dominique's headspace is at currently. Is it, I'm going to kill motherfucking Donovan, or I'm going to motherfucking fuck Donovan? Which one is it? Or is it both?
It's both.
It's
Both. 100%, yeah.
So you set the stage because you set the environment. You told them where you wanted to be picked up, whatever that means. So where is this place that you're setting up for Agent Donovan? And in the downtime, what is it that Dominique does as part of her home pursuits?
Ooh. Well, okay. So given where we left off, she was basically stranded, waiting for a pickup. Is that where we're picking up the scene?
No. Was this sometime later? Like where does she end up, and where does she strategically set up to meet Donovan?
Okay, so in that case, it's probably somewhere remote, like wooded area, remote cabin, someplace where because even though she wants to trust Donovan, she has not made this far in life by just blindly trusting people. So she's setting the stage for if I'm going to get fucked, like I'm going to make sure I fuck them just as hard. and you can take that either way.
Yeah, fair.
So yeah, it's probably remote. She's probably set some booby traps and stuff like that. So if people are trying to like sneak up and surround her little cabin she has, she's gonna know about it. And she's also not going to be in the cabin when like the meet's set. That's not where she's gonna be. She's going to be waiting in the woods to see who shows up.
Of course, that makes perfect sense. So you have like a couple of weapons hiding away in little areas inside the inside or outside the cabin. You have a specific place that you want to potentially meet with Donovan. You stick in the woods. You have like a special place that you have like set up however you want.
I think no, never mind. I was gonna say a deer stand, but that is disadvantageous because you're really high.
Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, this is classic espionage. You control the meeting location, you control the environment, weapons, magazine, cartridges, knives, armor, everything that you need, you have available at your fingertips. You've had enough time to prepare. Okay. Let's see. During your time, which did you choose a specific pursuit that you wanted to take?
All right. I have a question before I choose.
Sure.
Who has the book, the Libre Devon? Do I still have it?
I believe it was Agent Diver, and then I don't think he parted with it with anyone
I
else.
thought Dyer passed it to me at some point. I truly don't remember. That's why I was asking.
I don't remember either. I mean, I'm fine with Dominique having it.
Sure. If it didn't end up in Delilah's hands, then it probably didn't get handed over to Gertrude or anybody else, in which case one of you has it. So yeah, if you wanted to be like, I didn't want anything to do with it, I just give it to Dominique because she was the one particularly interested in all these weird old artifacts and papers and stuff like that. So sure, that works. You could have offered it to whatever that guy's name was from the auction house. So
yeah.
You can say
I mean,
you have it.
I also feel it's entirely within the realm of possibility that Dominique just stole it.
This is true.
How dare you say something so truthful and accurate?
I will definitely allow that. That's fine. So yeah,
Great.
go ahead.
So I will choose study the unnatural. So while I'm waiting for the meetup, I'm going to be after Dominique has learned immortality is a thing that's achievable. She's poring over that book to try to find a way that she doesn't have to be subservient to some weird ass eldritch entity.
Sure. Go ahead and reduce a non-delta green bond by 1d4. Roll percentile and let me know if it lands on or beneath your occult or your unnatural or both.
Well, I will continue to dip Kronos' bond by 1. So it's now at a 6. And then percentile, you said, yes?
Yes.
56, I think, is very much above my occult. Yeah, fully above my occult.
Ooh, okay. Interesting. Kronos. Poor Kronos. Okay. So you rolled above both of your skills there. What's your unnatural currently at, and what is your occult?
My unnatural is at 5. My occult is at 23.
Okay. Increase both by 6 in this case. And Bird. Okay, let me see what you may be able to find inside such a volume. This was in the possession of the Temple of Contemplation, which was where Walter Corbitt originally held these rituals, and his cult had taken full hold in Arkham. Let's see. You have the book, which is here. 2%. Yeah, you can add 2% to astronomy. You have it. You got more than enough for unnatural and occult. You can also add. Wait, no, that's not right. Anthropology 2%, occult 2%. You already have more than enough there for occult and unnatural, I think. Actually increase your unnatural by another 4 points.
Okay.
So this book affords you. You will need to roll a sanity check though. Yeah.
My sanity is, by the way, my sanity is at max now because of that.
Is it now? Well,
yes.
we have to do something about that now, don't we? Go ahead and roll your sanity.
Well, that's a fucking
goody.
failure.
Awesome. Roll 2d6 and lose that much sanity, please.
So 6 sanity. Oh,
Ooh.
God.
Enter temporary insanity mode.
So I can wager willpower for this, yes? To reduce?
You just have to project the damage onto your bonds by the similar amount.
No, I'm gonna take the temporary insanity. I'll be at 78 sanity and take a temporary.
That's fine.
I'm already paranoid, so let's just make it.
Excellent. Let's see. So this is a book that belonged to some sort of ancient Hyperborean wizard, right? Or so he claims. The Book of Ebon. It discusses entities such as Sathagwa and other old ones and their origins. It delves into weird alchemy, but most specifically, it talks about her. It talks about Yib and how she is essentially timeless, because she resides in a place that is within dreams itself, a place called the Dreamlands, a place where ghouls happen to frequent quite often. And it references other texts, such as the one that supposedly allows you to become a ghoul, should you be so inclined. It talks about the undead, and it talks about how there are other entities that, like the ghouls, that eat corpses, many of whom resemble cats. One in particular stands out as an enormous-sized one. It shows a big statue of one, and it recalls Bast and the being known by other names from other different countries. An eater of corpses, if you will, and a protector of dreams and such. You learn all of these different things, and you see that there is something to be learned here for sure, and there's more waiting for you out there. And this just sort of whets your appetite. You spend a good several days just studying this tome, and there's still just more to be learned. You go ahead and roll percentile again, and let me know if any of it falls under unnatural or occult.
No, neither.
No, okay. So you don't learn any rituals from this. Roll your intelligence, however, and let me know if you're successful.
No. Also.
No. Okay. So there's something here. You need a lot of time to kind of pour over it. You feel like if you're able to absorb the contents of this tome, you're going to be able to know everything that Walter Corbitt knew about Yib, about immortality, about all manner of different things. But you need a lot more time than we currently have. You need months, and you've had days at best.
Noted.
So now that you've chosen your pursuit and you set the stage, so to speak, now it's just a waiting game for Donovan to show up. Can you do anything before he arrives?
Given my bond reducing, I'm not going to contact Chronos, but I will contact Nix and be like, it won't be a proper phone call. It'll just be a message like, I've stumbled onto something grand that will elevate us beyond anything we ever thought.
Funny enough, you mentioned Chronos. You don't contact him, but he ends up contacting you. I've been burned. Time to get out. And you lose him as a bond because he cuts his ties to you. So, go ahead and we're gonna explore the destruction of deterioration of that particular bond. It's already in the single digits currently.
Indeed.
Let's see.
Oh no!
Oh no, we lost Kay.
Oh no! Ah, darn Darn internet.
Sadness and woe.
Let's see.
The internet knew how I was losing that bond, and it was K.
Roll sanity. This is helplessness.
Wow, god damn, I am. The roll 20 has turned on me. I have failed.
Here it is. Okay. So, with a failure, you're going to roll a d8, and you're going to lose that much sanity.
Please be kind. 20. That's not kind. I lost 5.
Another 5. So you're waiting for Donovan to show up, and then you get this message from Kronos like, I've been burned. And you're like, what? No response. You can take him right off your character sheet.
Already done.
Actually,
welcome back, Agent Donovan. Yes.
Donovan wasn't going to go through with it. Side note.
Oh, he wasn't. That's okay. Because somebody else did for you.
Yeah. This quick glance where you see Donovan in a sniper ready to pull the trigger. Do it.
You couldn't do it. Okay.
Oh.
So you were setting up to pull a trigger on Kronos, and you just like, nah, I'm not gonna do it.
Can't. I think he like cries. So frustrated, angry.
To your surprise, Agent Donovan, a car pulls up, or several cars pull up, and a man in a white suit gets out. He walks into the building where Kronos is located. Out some remote place out in the middle of nowhere in the sticks where living off the grid or whatever. He just lets himself inside, and everybody with guns stands outside waiting. He approaches Kronos, and he hands him a phone. And he's like, you're going to have to make a very important call today, Mr. Kronos. Or rather, you're going to have to send a very special message. Go ahead. Message your friend Dominique. And along with that message, Dominique is, I've been burned. I got to cut ties or whatever. It's like, also, my services are no longer required. You know what that means. You know who this is. And he seems to just be crossing lines off of a list. A list that you imagine your name is on as well.
Do you recognize this man in a white suit?
You look at him through the scope. Possibly. Roll luck.
Did
you say 30? As long as it's 50 or below, we should be okay there.
30.
Okay, that's more than enough. Yeah, anything 50 or below is good. So, yeah, you recognize this guy. You've seen him on wanted posters throughout Europe and abroad. The name Alziz comes to mind. The man in the white suit. A man who's been supposedly killed many, many times over. And he seems to be here with his posse, with his group. He leaves the building and sort of seems to be wiping his hands of something, takes off his gloves and throws them into a trash can, walks out to the cars. They're waiting for him. They get in and they drive off. You go inside. I think Kay's freezing again. So Dominique,
I think Kay is frozen, yes.
You make the preparations and everything, and then you get that message from Kronos, and you're like, "What the fuck? He's still alive, and he's coming after me. Like, this is real." How does she react to this? Technically, you lost more than 5 points of sanity in one go. So how does
10 total now? I believe 10.
Yeah. So you have how does she react? Does she freeze? Does she run away? How does she react?
I would like to call back to the show Dexter before it got bad, where her dark passenger takes over, and her face just goes dark, and she's gonna pull out the phone that Conrad last called her on, and dial the number.
Okay, Donovan, you have an incoming call.
Oh, might be frozen again.
Damn it!
Oh no!
Why?
Poor Kay.
Why?
ISP is fuck you.
I love the really intense stare they've got though.
It is so intense.
Hello,
Welcome back.
you're
You back,
back.
Kay?
I think I'm back, hopefully. Yay.
Hey,
Hi.
you've got an incoming call from Dominique.
Okay, so wait, so sorry. The last thing I asked and I heard was I got a 37.
Yes.
Oh, my luck.
His name is Stephen Aziz. He's an internationally known criminal. He's been killed many times over. And he's just walking right out of this place and he drops his gloves into the trash can.
They're frozen again. They're frozen again. Oh, wait.
Okay, I heard they're an internet thing.
Yeah, so like you recognize him. He's a big criminal type. He's supposedly died many times, but he just sort of walked out of this place and drives away. And as soon as this happens, you get a call from Dominique.
I have a weird question.
Yes.
Can I kneecap him from my position?
No.
No? Okay.
These are like I'm just hanging on every leg for Kay right here.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
No, it's not your fault, Kay. ISPs are shit. Fuck ISPs.
Fuck
forever.
ISPs. So yeah, he's on that rooftop, he sees this. And he gets a call.
It's Dominique.
He answers, but he doesn't say anything. Like the receiver just like
no
gets picked up.
worries. She wasn't gonna let you anyway. Oh, Conrad, I'm very much hoping that you're going to be the one to tell all of these people's family that they died because of your foolishness. Click.
I think Dominique gets a phone, like a semi-blurry phone picture, somewhat accurate, of the man in the white suit sent to that number.
I'll leave it up to our lovely director how Dominique takes that, if that's like a deflection or if she believes like, oh, this is the one who did the bad thing.
You know it's Elzies. That message was the same one that you were given by your anonymous benefactor, the one who hired you to kill the Merriweather in New York. It's the guy who sent you the watch that didn't work. It's him.
Okay. So her new plan then is to just she set a bunch of traps. They'll dealt with, and then she's fully just flee now. She's not going to murder all of the agents that, as she's assuming, are sent here to retrieve her.
Yeah. Did you go ahead and give the word, Donovan? For oh shit.
Oh, there she goes officially.
Damn it. Does Donovan send agents to pick up Dominique? I will put the question into the internet to be answered. So you don't stick around for anything, regardless of whether agents are going to pick you up or not. You're just like, fuck this shit. I'm out of here. Aziz is alive, and he's gunning for my ass. Like, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so the second she already kind of figured there was a chance she was going to get fucked, right? So now that Aziz is in the picture, now she's like, nope, I'm out.
Do you message Nix?
Yes, immediately. Not message at all. I'll call, like, you need to go. Yes. You need to go dark. You need to go underground.
Okay.
They're gonna burn us all. Yay!
Welcome back, Kay.
I'm on my phone, so my phone's thing. I got it to work up. Hopefully this thing stays good.
Do you send agents to go pick up Dominique, or do you come get her yourself?
I come get her myself.
Oh, okay. That's all right. That's totally different scenario then.
So
at this point, he and when he gets you, his eyes are red rimmed. It's clear he's been crying. He's shaking.
So I think she catches, like, you got the coordinates, right? You got the coordinates. She meets you well before the coordinates. Like, it's very clear she's been prepping for not just you showing up. Welcome. I'm surprised it's just you, actually.
Just get in the car, Dominique.
Not yet.
What do you want then? Should I get out?
You sent me a picture.
I did.
Did you follow up on what happened?
I saw enough.
I see. Wow.
I'm sorry for your loss. Fuck. He watches, he leans his head against the steering wheel and his hands are white knuckle gripping it.
Dominique will lean in and give a hug. A sincere hug, not a manipulative hug.
Yeah, and he flinches a little as you go to touch him, but after a moment, he sort of just you could tell his body just leeches exhaustion.
Perhaps I should drive.
Sure, fine, and he unbuckles and gets out of the car. Why can't he starts to say something and then stops and just goes to go around the back of the vehicle.
Oh no, please finish your thought. I'm always happy to listen.
And he's there's some distance because he's by the back of the vehicle and he's got his arm up against the sort of trunk. I can't pull the trigger on you.
The feeling's mutual, Conrad.
You know what I have. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, but everything's not right now with this Delta Green bullshit. With everything, Hooper's and he starts spilling it, and he's just Hooper's in on it, and he pulls out the gun, and it's semi-levied at her, but not. But it's clearly it's almost he's maybe showing it more to her, even though it could be turned on her in a moment. But it's more he's showing her this is an unmarked gun that's been given to him.
Oh, I see.
You're both in the confines of the car, I would imagine, or around the car. And
we're around the car, yeah.
We're around the car, yeah.
You feel exposed out here.
We're supposed to be the good guys.
Oh, Conrad, sweetie, you've never been the good guys. You're just the ones that are allowed to enforce your authority by the government. You've never been the good guys.
And you've said this before to him, and not in these exact words, but for the first time, it's starting to almost sink in, and you can almost visually see him sort of swallowing it as he sort of puts the gun away and goes to go to the passenger door.
All right, hon. You tell me where we're going. Are we going back to Delta Green, or is it freelance time? Your choice. I'll drive either direction.
Do I? But so, ST. Mm-hmm. I know that Gertrude told me not to take anyone else's orders. I got these orders from Hooper. Mm-hmm. Do I know that Gertrude is dead? Have I gotten that call, or?
No, you get a very different notification instead.
Mm-hmm. What notification do I get?
Let's see. It's from somebody that you know from the agency. One of the people that you've worked with. And it's is this for real? And you see, it's been a couple days since DC, since you've gone and gotten your sniper scope and all that other fun stuff, and made your way over to the coordinates where Dominique set for you. You go and you check the link, and it's some random crime that's being investigated. But it talks about some guy who got gunned down in this really nice neighborhood by his husband or fiance.
Oh no!
His name is Conrad Kessler. And
Conrad Kessler got shot down, or Conrad Kessler's fiance got?
No. Conrad Kessler's fiance was gunned down in their home using the service pistol that he was given. Roll sanity, please.
Holy fuck.
Oh my god, that's fucking. That's a 7, right? What the fuck?
Aaron, quit stealing my gay prayer hands, okay?
You know what?
God.
You don't own gay prayer
Yeah,
hands,
70. Okay, that's a 75. That's a 75.
Oh, that's
Technically,
definitely a
being
failure.
non-binary,
Let's
Ambrose, I'm
see.
gayer than you, so.
Okay, so this is helplessness, like the likes of which you've never seen before. This is when a Bond gets gruesomely killed. If you fail, you roll a D8. Wait, you rolled a 77?
A 76.
Oh, okay. Not full sanity damage, but go ahead and roll a D8 and take Redmond right off your sheet.
That's an 8. Thanks, Odd Duck Dice.
Wow. Okay, so you're having a nervous breakdown right now of however you want to have this character experience this, but you're finding out just now from this link that your fiance has been murdered. And then you realize who Hooper is. You remember that Shaw had a way into Delta Green, but you never found out who it was. Whoever they were set you up. And now you start putting the pieces together. Those agents that you saw in the underground garage that had a passing familiarity to you, those were your teammates that got eaten by ghouls all that time ago. Hooper was the person behind this all and who set them up to die so that Shaw can infiltrate Delta Green. And now she's setting you up so that both you, Bonnie, and Clyde here, in the form of Conrad and Dominique, are the most wanted criminals in America. And that's where I'll stop.
Fuck.
I'd like an adult, please.
You are an adult.
Holy fuck.
Shit.
Okay. Well, that's all the time that we have for this session, everyone. I hope everyone here and those watching enjoyed the show. We'll continue our descent into conspiracy horror next Monday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you enjoyed tonight's program, feel free to check out our other awesome shows, such as Coriolis, beginning tomorrow, Mercy of the Icons. And then Steve returns to G.I. Joe with Emerald Oubliette on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursday sees the return of Dark Sun, Road to Uruk at 9 Eastern Standard Time. Friday, Traveler continues with the character creation and madness with The Cost of Commerce at 10 p.m. Eastern. Pathfinder continues with Reign of Winter on Saturday at 7 and Cult Annihilation on at 11 o'clock after dark. And then this Sunday, Hunter the Reckoning returns with Roadhouse Blues at 9. Next Monday, before this program, you can catch Curse of Straw Gender Flipped at 11. It's at 7. And then this program again at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. A round of applause for my terrific cast. Players, reminds everyone watching who you are, which game they can find you in next, and what else you do outside Vorpal Tales. That is awesome. Beginning with Aaron. I almost said Dominique.
Hello, everyone. I'm still Aaron. I was playing the complicated protagonist, Dominique. You next find me tomorrow. I will be at session 0 for Coriolis. I have still not figured out what the hell I'm gonna play. I'll figure it out. It'll happen. After that, Wednesday. Oh, weird. I'll be back here, but also before that, I'll be on my dearest Dre LaFay's channel, for a little collab. We're gonna be playing Core Keeper, and then immediately I'll be back here at Purple Tales for GI Joe. It's very good that I didn't do the joke GI Joe that I was planning. I made a real one.
Okay.
For those that are familiar with Venture Brothers, there is the Shore Leave character. I was gonna do Beachhead.
I would have. Oh man, excellent.
Anyway, so yeah, and then actually, I was gonna say Saturday would be Cult, but actually we're off for Cult because our ST and our producer are gonna go seeing Dwayne's Baby. Hell yeah!
Hey. That's right. Excellent. Ambrose.
Hey everybody. I've been Diver this evening. Sorry, mind is still blown after this session. Holy crap. You can find me all over the internet as Changeling, because it's me, Ambrose. You can also find me on Etsy at Thornkind, and wow, this is just so good. It's always so damn good.
You all make it good.
You can find me playing again, also Wednesday in GI Joe.
Kay.
Hi, I'm the individual formerly known as Kay, who cannot even right now after today's session. You can find me at Critical K on the Bird app with 2 Ks. And let's see, where can you find me next? You can find me obviously here, but on July 24th at 8 p.m. you can find me on Carrion Comfort Studios, where we will be doing Syndrome, a Deviant the Renegade one-shot for the Orphan Access Network, raising funds. It'll be really cool, lots of fun events. If you enjoy Delta Green, you will definitely enjoy the cult-like classics and things we will be investigating there. Warehouse 13, sort of New Mutants kind of vibe, real punchy, real good. And other than that, my schedule's getting startlingly free, so hit me up or DM me if you want to work with me for any projects. I'm kind of okay.
Awesome, thank you. And last but not least, of course, Rachel.
Hello, my name is Rachel. I'm Stolen Fires pretty much everywhere. I have been Agent Delilah on a real long slide down, but I'm loving every minute of it. Thank you, Eric. Yeah, you will find me. When will you find me? I have joined the Friday cast. I'm really looking forward to Traveler, and you will also find me back here on Sunday for Hunter. Follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram, where on Twitch I stream Dragon Age.
Excellent. I've been Eric at Modern Recluse Online. You can find me back here on Thursday for Dark Sun. Big thanks as always to our patrons for supporting what we do. And if you want to be awesome and do the same, check out the Patreon page at patreon.com/VorpalTales. Keep up on what we're doing monthly by checking the calendar on VorpalTales.com. Thanks to you, as always, our viewers and fans for tuning in. And remember, this case is on a need-to-know basis, and you are not cleared for further intel. Still, your encrypted phones maintain situational awareness and await further instructions from your handler. Until the next rodeo, see you at the opera. Good night, everyone.